Hello and welcome to the first episode of the 18 Yards FPL show. This is your go to place throughout the season for all things FPL. We're going to be having recommendations, we're going to be having transfer tips, um, how to use your chips, etc. etc. We've obviously got the 18 Yards League, which starts with the Premier League with the addition of the Cup, the FPL Cup into each mini league. That should be pretty exciting. So to kick things off, what we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at a team made by all of us at 18 yards. This team will be entered into the league as well, but it should be a good starting point and a good place to look for any pointers and tips for the first few game weeks of the season. So to kick things off, Ari, let's have a look at the goalkeepers. Who should we be looking at? Are you going to be advocating for a stick? Are you going to stick to one goalkeeper throughout the season, or are you like a select and forget, or you keep switching according to fixtures and so on?
See, I have one policy which I've followed for a decade now. I mean, your goalkeeper has to be really really cheap, so that you have enough money saved for the players who obviously get more points than the goalkeeper. So I've always believed in choosing a 4.5 million priced goalkeeper in the team. I don't know about you guys, but last year Martinez was 4.5. I got him in the first game week, and then he was I stuck with him throughout, and it proved to be a good bargain in the end. This year, Martinez is being priced at 5.5, so I'm not really looking at him. I'm looking at options like Roberto Sanchez of Brighton, who starts off really well, as in fixture wise, and Backman of Watford, who is currently in my personal team because he had a great season in the championship, and we've seen in the past how promoted goalkeepers get a lot of save points. So I have him as my 4.5 defender. What do you think? What is your strategy behind selecting goalkeepers?
I agree with you. I wouldn't spend money on like say an Allison, Edison, Mendy, who are all 6 million. But I wouldn't mind going as far as picking a goalkeeper who is at maybe 5 million. And I'm looking at Schmeichel, especially because of his first three. Well, I was looking at Schmeichel and I had him in my first draft, but with the trouble that Leicester are having at centre back, I may go and spend that extra point 0.5 on Martinez because Martinez has three wonderful fixtures to start. He's got Watford, Newcastle, where I think they'll keep a clean sheet. Brentford, they may concede, but he may still get save points. Schmeichel also, I mean, they've got Wolves, West Ham, and Norwich to kick off the season. Not bad fixtures. He's not a bad one to look at. I would probably still stick with Schmeichel. Um, would you agree, or do you want to go Robert Sanchez for the team?
See, I agree with Schmeichel. I mean, there's only a point 0.5 difference between the two. So I don't mind keeping Schmeichel in the team, to be very honest, because like you said, he has three easy fixtures to begin with. And Leicester, I mean, even if they've lost for Fofana, but you never know. If Schmeichel will get a few save points for sure. So
I think Schmeichel. We can go with Schmeichel, and I think this season the backup goalkeeper for your team should be pretty straightforward. Ben Foster is priced only at 4.0, and he's the starting keeper for Watford. Um, he's a keeper that's been in the Premier League for a long, long time. So, in my opinion, he's going to start most games, and to have a starting keeper at priced at 4.0 is I think I mean is a massive.
yeah, I mean that's what I've done in my personal team also. I mean, I have Backman of Watford at 4.5, and I have Foster at 4 as my backup keeper because Backman started more games in the championship last season. He was pretty good, and
Right,
even if Backman doesn't start, then my backup keeper Foster will is guaranteed to start because same team. So that's my
right.
strategy behind my personal team. But right now, I think in this 18 years team, I think Schmeichel is a great shot.
So who are you looking at for the defense? I think, I mean, I don't usually spend much on defenders, but I'm definitely looking at Alexander Arnold. I think Liverpool are going to be much more solid defensively, and I think that they'll be very good going forward. And Alexander Arnold is always one of those players who will get you points no matter how Liverpool are performing. So I have him on my team. Would you agree, or do you think we should have a look at cheaper options.
No, I completely agree. I mean, he's 7.5, and you should compare his last three season points with midfielders in the same price range. Alexander Arnold has more points than all of them. So why not go for Alexander Arnold? I mean, he's getting more points than midfielders, and 7.5 is a bargain for him because we saw last season he didn't have a great season, but he still ended the season with 160 odd points and still earned more points than most of the midfielders. So I mean, if he has a good season, then he'll get 200 points plus 100%. So I think Alexander Arnold picks himself in the team.
Yeah, and I think just building off Alexander Arnold, I would possibly look at maybe Lucas Dean because Everton have a easy start to the season. Obviously, they've been battered 4-0 by Rafa Benitez. I'm sorry, not Rafa Benitez, by Manchester United today. So that's not a good look. But they've got, I would say, probably the easiest fixtures to kick off. Cancelo at 5.5 is not a bad buy. I wouldn't even mind looking at maybe a United defender, someone like Luke Shaw for 5.5 as well. Um, I would initially steer clear of the Spurs defense. Maybe later on look at Reguilon. But I think Spurs are going through a bit of a rebuild, so probably not uh, a good idea to look at some of the less known players. So I would possibly put Luca Dean into the team. What do you say?
I agree. I have in my personal team too. I mean, he's on set piece duty, and we know he can score free kicks, and he crosses the ball really well. I mean, he got 8 assists last season. He was injured for half the season. He still got eight assists. So I think Luca Dini at 5.5 can be a real bargain this season. And I mean, if he's somewhat not performing well, you can easily change him with a player like Luke Shaw or Aaron Wan-Bissaka who are at the same price. So I think
I would
starting
I
with
would
Luke.
I would put Luke Shaw and Dean into the team.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, I would have put Aaron Wan-Bissaka because I think Luke Shaw's injured, so I don't think he's going to start the first two games if I'm not
Right,
wrong.
right.
Yeah, so I think Aaron for the third defender, I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a great shout because
Right.
I was just looking at the points that he's got in the last three seasons. I think it's really underrated. He's got 144, 127, 120 points. I mean, and you can see that his attacking output has been increasing with each passing year, and now with Sancho and now with all Bruno and all these, players that United have bought, I think his output will only increase and their defense has only gone stronger. So United will keep more clean sheets. So I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a really, really good shout. And considering they don't have many backups at right back, I think he's guaranteed to start every single game for United. So I think I would definitely pick Aaron Wan-Bissaka. What are your thoughts on the third defender?
Yeah, I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Alexander Arnold, Lucas Dean, I think would be the three I would go with. Aaron Cresswell is not a bad pick as well at 5.5. Um, if you're looking at a four-man backline, and for the fifth defender, I would definitely look at Max Aarons of Norwich. He would be a really really good player to have on your bench, um, because I think what you have to look at is you have to have a strong team. You have most of your players need to be starters for their respective teams. That's what I've gone with for my personal team. So I would definitely look at Max Aarons because he's cheap, and he does well. I think he didn't do too badly when Norwich were last in the Premier League. So I would definitely go with Max Aarons and then probably someone like Aaron Cresswell to just finish off that back line.
See, I wouldn't take Aaron Cresswell because he's 5.5, and I think that's really expensive for a player like Cresswell because you never know with him. He had a good season last season, but before that he was very wasteful. For a couple of seasons before that, so
What
5.5.
Matt Target then at 5 million?
Five, and I think I would if I mean 5 million for a backup defender. I think in my opinion is a bit too much. So obviously I put Max Aarons for 5.5, 4.5, and another defender that I have in mind for 4.5. I actually have two. One is Luke Ayling of Leeds United. He's a guaranteed starter. He'll start all the 38 games. He's captain. Uh, and he's 4.5. So you're getting a 4.5 defender who's going to start all the games. So I think Luke Ayling is a good shout at 4.5. And another one is Ryan at Nuri of Wolves. He didn't play much last season, but this season the new manager has been using him as a left midfielder. So if he's continued to if he's continued to be used in midfield, we can potentially have another Dallas with us, who gets you 170 points from defense at just priced at 4.5 million. But I don't think he's guaranteed to start all the games. But I think he's a great shout, if especially if you are to have a backup defender 4.5, because that gives you extra funds to invest in your midfield and forward line where most of the points come from.
Right. So I think I would agree with you and go for Ait Nouri at as our fifth defender.
Right.
Now moving on to midfield, we've got. I mean, this is where it sort of gets exciting, right? So, um, who are you looking at for your midfielders? Let's go with the premium picks first. Obviously, we've got Salah, KDB, Fernandez, um, Mane, in that sort, and Sterling, Son in that sort of really top bracket. De Bruyne is obviously not playing the first game. We don't know how early he's going to come back. Are you looking at Grealish? Are you looking at Sancho? Are you looking at Pulisic? What is your strategy here? What are you thinking?
See, I'm definitely having one premium midfielder, and that is Mohamed Salah. I mean, there's a very common saying: if you don't have Salah in your team, you've already lost FPL. I mean, Salah is, if I had to describe a perfect fantasy asset, that's Mohamed Salah. I mean, he's on penalties. He's a really selfish player. He always wants to get on the score sheet, and he always scores 18, 19 goals, 20 goals in a season, and he gets a handful of assists along with the goals that he scores. So I think Mohamed Salah picks himself in this team, especially given that he's starting the season against Norwich. And we know how bad Norwich have been in the Premier League in the past. I wouldn't put it past Salah to score another hat trick in the first game, or maybe get a few goals in the starting 5 game weeks. So I think Mohamed Salah, in my opinion, is a must have for FPL.
Right, I agree. I think my mantra is always to go Salah and Kane, but with Kane, with the rumors around whether he moves, etc. So we don't know when he's going to actually start playing. So I've gone with Salah as well myself. So I think we should go Salah here, um, and I would probably add uh, one City midfielder, and it looks like Mahrez is going to be the one who's going to be starting towards the beginning of the season. So I would probably put Mahrez in because I think Grealish will take time. I think Grealish will start this weekend against Spurs, but it'll take Grealish some time to settle in. So I would probably go Mahrez over Grealish for the time being.
I agree with you. I mean, I have, excuse me, I have Mahrez in my personal team. And, if you look at the fixtures, there's a very, very juicy fixture here, home to Norwich. And we know how City just love to score against recently promoted teams. So I think with KDB out injured, and Mahrez not having much competition on the right wing, especially because Grealish is left, Sterling prefers the left wing. He's using Pep is using Ferran Torres as a central striker, and with talks of Bernardo Silva leaving the club, I think Mahrez is a guaranteed starter at least for the first 5 game weeks. And what we can guarantee with City, that they will score goals, and if they're scoring goals, I was just looking somewhere that points per 90 minutes played, Mahrez is at the same level as Mohamed Salah. It's just that he doesn't play many games for Manchester City because of Pep Roulette. That's why he falls behind in points. But if when he's starting, he's always a very reliable source of points. So I think Mahrez is a definite, at least for the starting few game weeks.
Right. So I think we've got to go Mahrez in here. What are you thinking about Emiliano Buendia? I think he's a fantastic player, and Villa have a new look attack which he'll be supplying the likes of Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins. Would you go with him, or would you wait till he integrates the team? What's your thinking on Emi Buendia, and what are you thinking about the other three defenders in our team?
See, I definitely want to have uh, Aston Villa midfield in the team. Uh, but the only problem is how easily or how early does Buenda integrates himself into the team, and how early does he start performing well. So we still don't know that. So I think going with Buenda for 6.5, I won't call it a risk, but I think you have better options around that range. My pick in that range is Harvey Barnes. Like we said, Leicester have an easy run of fixtures, and unfortunately, Harvey Barnes got injured middle of last season, but he was excellent before that. He was a constant source of points, scoring goals, getting assists, and tonight in the Community Shield, he played in a number 10 role. So I think if Barnes continues to play over there, or if he plays on the wings, I think for 7 million, he's been getting overlooked in my opinion, and I think he can prove to be a really, really, really clutch differential. If you want to have one, what are your thoughts on him, or do you prefer someone else in the same price
I
range?
agree with you. I think he should go straight in. I think some we should have some differentials in the team. I had him just before he got. I actually when he got that big injury, I think early last season, um, I had him in my team, and unfortunate that he got injured, and I'm not sure about putting him straight back, but I think we could have him at his price in the team.
So we have. So wait, before we continue, what formation are we? What formation do you think we should be playing? I think three
I would
four
probably go
three or three five
3-4-3.
two.
I would probably go 3-5-2 or 3-4-3.
Right. So let's pick the midfielders so that we have a good backup midfielder around six or something. So
Yeah. So I
what?
would probably go with Saka for 6.5 here.
Okay.
I think Saka is a massive bargain at 6.5.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. He's going to be Arsenal's main man after the season he's had last season and the Euros that he's had. Excellent Euros, all the club loves him, the fan loves him. He's going to be starting for sure. And we saw last season, he got 5 goals and 5 assists in FPL terms, and that's a good sign. Especially he didn't start all the matches, but we've seen him grow in the league, and we've seen him grow into the player that he's right now. And I think he's a really, really good. He's 6.5. I think might prove to be a little less. Might prove to be a bargain once the season goes into the later stages. So I think I agree with you. I think we have to have Saka in the team.
Right. So we've got Saka, and you want to have a look at the forwards, and then come at have a look at the three forwards, and then come and look at how much money we have left for the midfielder.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's
Right.
about right.
So I would probably have a look at Ivan Toney from Brentford.
Okay.
Um, I think he is priced at 6.5 million, and for me, that's a complete bargain.
I agree with you. I think 6.5 Tony, top scorer in the championship, and he got a lot of assists too. And 6.5, he's an enabler. If you get a good forward for 6.5, you can spend the remaining 1 or even 2 million that you were planning to spend on someone higher on other players. So I think Tony, even though he's in above 30% of the scores, I think he's worth it. I mean, he's going to get on the score sheet. I mean, he will score goals for Brentford. So I think yeah, I agree with you. I think Tony deserves to be in the team.
And alongside him, I would probably look at Calvert Lewin. They've got a couple of easy fixtures to start off the season, and I mean, he delivers especially because Richarlison is not there. So I'm looking at Calvert Lewin for my team. Obviously, there's a lot of chopping and changing in the next week. I would probably still stick with Calvert Lewin at 8 million.
I mean, I have another option in the same price range, 7.5. I'm looking at Callum Wilson. He's in less than 5% of the scores, and I think he's in 5.6% of the score. And I think that's a big differential because Callum Wilson just loves to score in the beginning of the season. Last season he was injured for a while. That's why he could only manage 12 goals, and 6 assists. That is brilliant in itself. And Callum Wilson always starts off the season strong. Even last season, in the first 4 games, he scored 3 goals and got an assist. For when he was in Bournemouth, he started off the season well every single year. So I think even though Newcastle don't look right, I think Callum Wilson can be a differential to start off with for 7.5. But I can see why you chose Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I
I
would,
mean,
I would,
if we talk, we're talking about
I would,
starts. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a massive start last season. He scored a hat trick in the
I
second.
would, I would still go with DCL to start, because I just think that you know I think I'm not really sure about Newcastle. I think they play very defensively, so I would probably look at DCL to start with, and probably even partner him maybe with Bamford or someone like maybe Timu Puki. If you're trying to save money, we could go for Timu Puki at 6 million.
No, I don't. I think takes Timu Pukki only if you want him to start all the games. I mean, because it doesn't make sense to buy a 6 million striker and then put him on the bench. So I
Right.
think we. So I think how much money do we have left? We have 14 million left. I think. So we can either do seven, but that won't make sense because one of them will have to miss out, or we can get we can get a 4.5 million uh, midfielder and get a crazy striker, or get a 4.5 million striker and get a crazy midfielder. So it just boils down to which
I would,
position do you
I would,
want
I
to
would
have more strength
probably,
in.
I would probably go with a 4.5 striker or a 5 million striker, because
Right.
I'm looking at the top notch strikers, and I don't think we can afford any. Um, hmm,
I mean, I'd put Davis. I mean, I had him in my team for the entirety of last season, 4.5. If I mean, he got 1 point every game, came on the last 5 6 minutes. So even if there was an
no,
injury, I was guaranteed a point, and he was my last substitute. So it doesn't really matter.
so
And
let's go with
4.5.
Davis to start us off.
So we
And
have
now we have
9.5 left for the last midfielder.
so. I mean, I think Sancho could be good. I don't know if he's going to start the first game, or maybe even Kai Havertz at 8.5 is probably a really good look, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I was thinking, do you want to get a 4 million defender instead of 4.5 and maybe get Son for 10,
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea.
right? Because I think if Harry Kane's not playing, and Son scores against Manchester City. I mean, I've always seen him score against
Yeah.
Manchester City for some reason. So let's get Son in, and then let's take out Alt Nuri and get a 4 million defender in. Wait, sorry, I thought. Sorry, I'm looking at midfielders. I'm really sorry for this mishap. Wait, oh, sorry. Right. So, I mean, I think one of Livramento, I was listening to Gianni Butis. He's an FPL expert, and he was like, this guy's from the Chelsea Academy, and Chelsea Academy, and he won the most
He got,
promising player at Chelsea Academy. Yeah.
he got
So
an assist uh,
yeah, and he got an
in the.
assisted in the friendly match. So he won't be starting from the get-in because they already got Pirat from the Ligue 1 who had a brilliant season in France last season. But I wouldn't be surprised if he grows into the team and maybe starts a few games mid-season. So I think he can be a good bench option at 4 million. Do you agree with this pick?
Yeah, I think that's a good pick, and yeah, I think that makes up a pretty good team to kick us off.
So we are going Bruno, right? We're not having Bruno Fernandes in the team.
Yeah, no Bruno, because I think we've gone with more stability along
Yeah.
uh, entire team rather than just focusing on premiums, and I think that's really important for the long term. I sort of made a mistake last season. I had to play my wild card one game in. Hopefully that doesn't happen for me, but otherwise I think this team looks good, and we'll be here every week, um, probably every Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday
Let's
to
just pick our main team, no captain, and
yeah,
Alexander, Dina, and Van Bissaka starters for the first. I mean, three defenders,
right.
and then we have Schmeichel in goal, and Saka, Mahrez, Son, Barnes, and Salah in midfield, and obviously Calvert-Lewin and Tony in attack. Who will you captain in the first game week?
Um, I would probably go Salah.
Same. I think he's playing Norwich City. I mean,
Yeah.
he has the easiest opening fixture, so I'll go Salah. If he scores, it's
And he
good.
scored a hat trick in the opening fixture last season.
Yeah, and a season before that, he scored 2 goals against Norwich in
Right.
the opening game. So I think it's a no-brainer to go with Mo Salah. So let's say our team. So yeah, so guys, this is our team for the opening game week.
Perfect. So Like I said, we'll be here every week to discuss the FPL. Send us in your questions, comments, thoughts on our team, and thank you for tuning in.
Stay safe, guys.